Father God, we thank you for your kindness in bringing us all together today. Though we may not know what this meeting holds, we know that you do. As we begin, Lord, help us to keep your word in mind. Lead us into conversations that are fruitful and enrich the lives of those who are here today. When we are undecided, please lead us in your wisdom. When our opinions may disagree, help us to remain respectful of one another. More than anything, Lord, would you help us both to seek your will and to pursue your glory through all that we say and do. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I call the meeting to order for agenda business, public comment.
No public comment.
Okay, minutes from our last meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from our March 19th meeting as submitted.
All right, so motion on the floor is to approve the minutes from our March 19th meeting as have been submitted. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Reports, Kenny?
Good afternoon, you guys. From March of 2026, we scanned 3,325 people, all told. We confiscated 351 knives, 6 guns, 8 pepper spray, and 19 miscellaneous items, different things, like clips and or magazines and things for weapons. Inmates was transferred into our custody. The 68 total inmates. We processed, served 115 papers. To break it down, number of people scanned at the main courthouse, 189. At the annex, at James Cain Annex, was 2,193. Number of items taken, and that was our biggest place. A lot of knives and stuff like that. People will start coming in, paying their taxes, and there'll be more of that this year. Weeze Annex, there was 243 people scanned there. We found 9 knives, 1 gun. The guns is is really what I worry more about. The magistrates, number of people scanned was 700. Number of items, knives 78, 1 gun there, 4 pepper sprays, and 2 miscellaneous items, which was magazines for weapons. And that's about it. The tax season is going to be starting pretty soon. Numbers are going to go up. So we're probably going to put an extra guy on the tax scanner. That helps, that speeds the line up quite a bit when they start lining up. But aside from that, everything is doing good, and appreciate you guys' time for listening to my report. Have a good one.
Thank you, Kenny.
I'll just cover mine in the business.
All right. Have anything from the Congressman's office?
I'm just gonna speak right here, so I don't have to crawl over and stand right here.
Okay.
Good to see y'all. Congressional office, not a whole lot to report right now. They are in the process of doing the notifications, to certain projects that y'all have been submitted on. And, but otherwise, that's my report. Thank you for the time you're giving.
Sheriff?
No, sir, thank you.
Brenda?
Yeah, I have an election report. Just going to give a little election report on the upcoming election. We began mailing out the absentee ballots back on March 27th, and we've already received some ballots back. Voters can still request those up until May the 6th. So if anybody needs an absentee ballot, you can still request those through my office. We've sent out the notices to all the poll workers who were approved at the last meeting. The poll worker training is going to be held on April 23rd in the main courthouse courtroom at 6 o'clock. We still need backup poll workers, so if anybody's interested, please call my office. I know you used to be a poll worker, but no. But if you want to be, call my office. And now, any changes can still be made on your voter registration up until April 21st. And anybody that's registered as an independent or no party, please remember you will not be able to request a Republican ballot this time. We have people coming in saying, since I'm registered as an independent, I'm not able to vote now. But that's not the case. You can still request a Democrat ballot, or you can get the independent ballot. You just can't get the Republican ballot. So if you want to vote Republican in the primary, you need to come and change your party to straight Republican. The State Executive Committee voted to do this in Charleston. It's for the whole state. It's not just for our county. We've been trying to get it out there. All the counties have been trying to get it out. Secretary of State's office has been, to let people know.
You've had it on your Facebook page.
We have it on
you've had it
Facebook.
In the Intermountain.
In the Intermountain several times for months.
But I just didn't think it sounded fair.
Yeah.
If you're in, it should be going everywhere you want to go.
April 21st is the deadline to make any changes for this election. That's to change your name if, someone got married and need to change their last name, change your address, change your party, anything, is April 21st is the deadline. And also this election, voters are going to be required to show photo ID to vote. So you can't just take your little voter's card in to vote. You need to take in your driver's license or some other type of photo ID. There's a whole list of things here that can be used. Most people have something on this list that they can take in with them. Also, if you voted at the same precinct for years and years and years and the poll workers know who you are, they don't have to see photo ID. It's, but if you're going somewhere new, nobody knows who you are, just take it with you to be on the safe side. For the candidates that's running for County Commission and Board of Education, it's time to file your first financial statement. It's due by April the 7th. It started on April the 1st, and you have to have it in by April 7th. All the paperwork to do that was in your filing packet when you filed to run. Early voting will begin on April 29th and run through May 9th. Early voting is going to be held here in this building, and we're also going to have it at the Russell Memorial Public Library in Mill Creek. The hours for early voting are Monday through Friday from 8 to 4:30, and on Saturday, May 2nd and Saturday, May 9th, it'll be from 9 to 5. Then, of course, Election Day is Tuesday, May 12th, and voting will begin at 6:30 a.m. and end at 7:30 p.m. All 27 precincts will be open for voting just like they have been in the past. If you're not sure where your precinct is and you're not sure where to go to vote on Election Day, just call our office and we'll let you know where you need to go. Our phone number is 304-636-0543. And if you have questions on that photo ID list and you want to make sure that you have something that you need, you can call our office and we can go over it with you. We'll be posting this too. And I think that's all I have for today.
And you have you had banners down there, so we'll make sure that they're on this building here to make sure people identify it's not over there, they'll be over here.
Yeah, we'll have them put up all the little flags and signs.
But I guarantee you.
Thank you, Brenda.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's still people that go to the main courthouse or to the James Cain Annex trying to vote. And we have to send them down, so.
All right, there's no correspondence, and then announcements. Our next meeting will be April 16th, 1:30 here at the County Commission Annex. And just a reminder that the courthouse and all courthouse facilities will be closed tomorrow, April 3rd, in observance of Good Friday. All right. So items for discussion and action. I want to go ahead and move N and O up to the top because we're going to have a long meeting today and we'll get these people in and out. First one is consider approval of Elkins High School Project Safe graduation funding request.
Thank you, gentlemen, for allowing me to come. My name is Rachel Varner. I'm the current treasurer secretary for the Elkins Kiwanis Club. This is the second year that the Kiwanis Club has hosted Project Safe Graduation for Elkins High School. Last year, during our first year, we had just over 100 students come, and that included probably about a dozen guests that the students were allowed to bring. From what we heard, that they had a great time, and we hope to have another great turnout this year. This year's Project Safe Graduation will take place from 9 o'clock p.m. on May 29th to 6 a.m. on May 30th. We're planning on having some of the same activities as we did last year. These include our Kiwanis casino games. We're going to have somebody doing some henna tattoos. We have a cornhole tournament with some awards.
Is Mike Judy doing that?
Alan Huffman,
Alan Huffman?
or as we call him, Huffy. I used to work with Alan. But Mike,
Mike's big into that, too.
he is too, yeah. The kids had a good time. There was kind of they ran it themselves. Alan set the scoring stuff up, and the kids had a good time. We hope to be able to borrow the inflatable games from the Davis Trust Company, and we've been talking to Citizens Bank about being able to use their dunk tank again. That was also a big hit with the kids. We hope to have J-Rod bring some of his video games, and we've also got some other activities planned. We're just now kind of getting our hardcore thoughts going.
The dunk tank, I think it'd be good if, our pro officers.
Be able to do that.
I think last year we asked them. Last year it was so unusually cold when the kids.
Even better.
That's what we wanted.
No, but if we could get, who was they were there, he just got promoted,
Ethan.
Ethan Carey, he could go back, because I know he was a big hit. He was really good with the students
Yeah.
there at Elkins High.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that we'll ask them.
Give a resolution stating that we demand Ethan Carr to
Well,
participate.
there you go.
What about the commissioners?
No. Yeah, Siler.
Chris can go.
Siler was upset, he was wanting to go.
Yeah, well,
Hey, we're still
make a
gathering
motion to that
names.
effect.
We're still gathering names, so you can put Chris's name
I think
in.
Ethan Carr would be good at that. You need to ask him about
The one in the
that.
valley, too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rocky.
Nothing like a good clip and dip.
heck yeah.
All right, sorry about that.
That's all right. That's fine. Each student that stays for the entire party, we hope to have prizes gathered up. That's going to total at least $125. Last year there was a little more. The kids are big into electronics, so they want money and electronics. So my spare bedroom looks like a storage room for a Target or Walmart. We did some Black Friday shopping to get some good deals. This year, for our grand prize, we're going to give away 2 Kindle Scribes. Last year we gave away 2 e-bikes, so this year we're giving away 2 Kindle Scribes. Seems to be a big hit with some of the kids. As like last year, we're letting the students design a hoodie that will be given away to the students. The student with the winning design is going to get $100, and then second, third place will get $50 and $25 respectively. Then the winning student, we've already contacted Seneca Designs to do our hoodies. So the student then will get to work with those guys over there, and they seem really receptive to the idea. Not tomorrow, a week from tomorrow, after the students get back from spring break next Friday, there's going to be 2 or 3 of us go to the high school to meet with the senior class. They're going to be given the registration forms, not that they won't lose them by the time they turn them in, but we're going to talk about some of the prizes we're giving away, give them some of the key dates that they'll need to talk about. And then during our presentation, it was a big hit last year, we're going to do it this year. We asked the kids questions. The first kid that answered last year was a little hesitant. He sat in the front row and was pretty timid, but we're going to give away 10 Amazon $10 gift cards to the kids that's chosen that come up with the right answer to whatever questions we ask about our presentation we're doing. So that kind of keeps them involved and attentive. We're starting the process of going around to visiting local businesses, asking for donations that can be used for the party. These can either be monetary or an item that can be given away. Last year we worked with several restaurants to help us with the food. And because the Kiwanis Club wants to continue supporting the youth and other, youth activities and organizations, The club is raising funds specifically for this, and so in March, I don't know how many were able to participate. We did really well. We sold pepperoni meals to various people and businesses, and we're also having a couple raffles to help us raise funds. So we're looking forward to whatever contributions you feel you can give, and I want to thank you for your time.
Have you talked to Stanley about a pool pass?
Not yet. We'll talk to Stanley about
I
that.
think since the county has a stake in that pool, I think that'd be a good,
That
don't you
would be,
think?
that's something I don't know that we've thought about, but that's a good idea.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we could do that for Tigers Valley, like a family pool pass. That could be
Okay.
given away at your,
Yeah, that would be good, yeah, yeah. Okay, I'll get with you, Stanley. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
all right, thank you.
Stanley on the spot like that.
Yeah, they said it's.
You'll get one too. Yeah, you get one too.
I'm gonna hit him up too.
You get him one too. All right, do we have a motion to approve a funding request for the Elkins High School Project Safe graduation?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the Elkins Kiwanis Club fundraising for the Project Safe graduation for the Elkins High School Class 2026 in the amount of $2,000 to be taken out of courthouse contractual.
All right, so motion on the floor is to approve the funding request for the Elkins High School Project Safe graduation, the amount of $2,000 to be taken from courthouse contractual. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. All right, so you got 2,000 plus a pool pass.
All right, thank you very much, appreciate it.
Steve? Next is consider approval of Tigers Valley High School graduation funding request for their graduation party.
All right. Thank you all for your time. Steve Current, I'm the lock-in chair for Tigers Valley Lions Club for the Tigers Valley's lock-in. We've been doing this, it's 39 years, I found out this year, so it was,
Couple behind us.
yeah, we started in, it was 86, 87, we had a lot of kids that died from drunk driving accidents in our area. So one of our club members decided, Elkins actually started the year prior doing theirs, and one of our club members decided that maybe we should start that. We just try to offer parents one night of peace after graduation before their kids become adults. We have a great time down at the Y. We raise funds also, and we appreciate the pool pass.
Family pool pass.
A family pool pass. Family of 10?
And a free pepperoni rolls, no, just kidding, from Stanley's concession stand.
He just keeps adding on to that, don't he? But, we thank you guys for helping us every year. We don't have quite as many students. We have about 53 this year. We do turn out about 85 to 95% usually show up for the graduation, for the lock-in. Like I said, we have a great time. Anybody in here, please come over to the Y on graduation night. I think it's May 28th. And come and see what we do for the kids. We have a great time. We usually have kids are talking about it, but I appreciate everything you guys have done for us to help us.
So yours is on the 28th and yours is on the 29th?
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, please. Oh, and
Ours is, because we have so many kids, we have rented the Phil Gaynor Center. We have rented the whole Phil Gaynor Center, the gym, the kitchen, and the classroom where the city.
The city of Elkins doesn't let you have that for free?
Of course not.
You would think the city of Elkins would let you have that for free. Yeah.
Here for the safety.
well, we're waiting for the commission to build a community center up in Mill Creek so we can just have one up
There
there
you
too,
go.
so.
There you go. All righty. Do we have a motion for this one?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the Tigers Valley Lions Club fundraising request for an amount of $2,000 taken out of courthouse contractual for the graduation safe school for Tigers Valley High School.
All right, so motion on the floor is to approve the funding request for Tigers Valley High School graduation party in the amount of $2,000 to be taken from courthouse contractual. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. And Sheriff, thanks a lot. The deputies come every year and the kids have a blast with them. They really do. They really enjoy it. They show up.
Both of it.
Oh, they come in, they play games, and I got a bunch of pictures if you need any incriminating evidence. So,
Yeah, they could go to the pool table at ours.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. All right, we're going to go ahead and do the consider the item L and M, consider approval of the girls' state and the boys' state funding request. Do we have anybody here for that? Are you here for both or just?
I can talk for both.
All right, talk about both, and we'll take them up separate, though.
Yeah, so I can talk about Boys State a little more than I can Girls State, but
Okay.
it's essentially the same program. You guys should know who I am as often as I send y'all correspondence, but if you don't, I'm Donnie Lambert. I'm a past commander for the American Legion here in Elkton. I'm the current Americanism officer until I can find someone brave enough to take it over. I'm also the Department Americanism chairman for the American Legion. We've been doing Boys State. This year will make 87 years. I attended it myself back in 2013 for the 76th annual session. It's a lot of fun. We send junior boys for all the schools in the area, Elkins High, Tigers Valley, Harmon if they would have anyone interested. Pittons would take care of their own. And we send them to Jackson's Mill. It's the second oldest Boys State in the nation. We're the only Boys State that's still at the original location, so we're very proud of that. And essentially what happens is in the middle of June this year, June 7th to 13th, the boys, we send them to Boys State. They basically learn good government through participation. So we send them there. We say, okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to give you a bar exam. Don't matter if you pass it or not. We have to do it because it's one of those things that the administrators decided we're going to just have them do. Two-thirds of it, it's designed to make two-thirds of you fail. I failed it, so it's nothing that I was too concerned to tell them about. Essentially, that's for those that want to go through the judicial aspect of Boys State. So if they want to be lawyers, judges, Supreme Court justices, that's what that's there for. Otherwise, they can go in through the legislative, financial, law enforcement, journalism, or homeland security. So they can be members of the legislature, like I was a member of the House of Delegates. They can go into banking and everything else like that. So I always have fun with the banking guys because I'm the Secretary of State advisor. So the first thing we do after elections is I send the Secretary of State down to the bank and like, hey, you need to get bonded. And that freaks them out. They're like, well, what's that even mean? And it's like, well, your banking guys are going to tell you all about that. And then I leave. It's a lot of fun. With being the Secretary of State advisor, my biggest responsibility is make sure the Secretary of State doesn't lose any of the bills that get passed into the law that he needs to stamp, and then also make sure that he doesn't lose the stamp. So, but the objective is to have these young men run the 51st state. So by Wednesday, they've elected a governor, they've elected a board of public works, they've elected basically everybody. They've figured out what job they're going to be, and then Wednesday, we as members of the staff have fun, and we step back, and we let them run it. So the governor's signing bills, vetoing bills, making the legislature mad enough at him that my year, we passed a bill saying that we could impeach the governor, and then we impeached the governor. It was a lot of fun. You meet friends for a lifetime. Our motto is a week that shapes a lifetime, and it really is. You guys have sponsored this for multiple years, and we really appreciate it at the Legion. And I know that I haven't personally came in to speak on that behalf to try and do that, so I apologize. Especially because my schedule sometimes doesn't allow it. Like a good example is in 7 minutes I have a national webinar for the disabled American veterans. So if it's not one thing, it's something else, but I wouldn't trade this for the world. And if nothing else, I'm really proud of Boys State. And Girls State's the same way. They're basically kind of situated the same aspect. Theirs is just a little different. The biggest thing that I know that they do the same is they have a legislature as well, and they have a board of public works. And what happens is Thursday, Girls State's D&E, they come down and meet us from Jackson's Mill. We meet them down at the Capitol in Charleston, and they sit in their respective places, the legislature and the House of Delegates and in the Senate. Supreme Court's over in the Supreme Court. The Board of Public Works is not doing what Board of Public Works do. They mostly are just listening to Speaker of the House, President of the Senate, Assistant Secretary of State talk, and I told them last year, we need to have them have an actual Board of Public Works meeting, because everyone else is doing their jobs. They're all sitting here being bored out of their minds, because I just sat with them and was bored out of my mind too. But Boys State's a lot of fun. A lot of people that we've sent through the years have went on and did great things. Trevor Keese was the Speaker of the House of Delegates my year. He's been the Mountaineer. He's over at the bank now with a JD. Here I am with just an MLS, but it's still a great time. Dr. Eric Anger, he went to Boys State in 1990. He received the P.E. Kirchhoff Award, which is one of our more esteemed leadership awards. He's now my doc at the VA saying, if you guys at the VA in Clarksburg are telling you need to do this, Donnie, you need to do this. So, he's just all over the place doing a lot of good things. And again, the same with Girls State. We try and help Girls State out as much as possible as well. Our auxiliary could talk more on that, but it's schedule conflicts, really. But I know that usually he does send the same amount, so I will start putting in our letter a set amount, but I'll ask for it so that you guys have that. We're just asking if you guys could sponsor 3 boys like you always do, so $1,050 should cover it because it's $350 apiece, and that would be more than sufficient for us. And I will make sure that at a county commission meeting after Boys State, I'll have at least someone come in here so they can tell you how much fun they had, because I can attest, and I'm sure last year's boys could as well, Sunday sucks, but by Saturday you don't want to leave. You've made friends that you have for a lifetime. I ran into multiple guys I went to Boys State with at college, both at Glenville State and WVU. Ran into a few of them at the International Guard in Charleston. It's a program that, you really do make friends for a lifetime, and it really does help out. One of the things that I found out just recently that I'm going to push more to try and get more people to go to is D&E actually has a scholarship for those that go to Boys State. So on top of the Highland Scholarship that's already $20,000 a year, they also now have a scholarship for those that go to Boys State that it's an additional $5,000 a year, well, up to $5,000. So I mean, just to go to something for a week and listen about how Americanism is and what the pledge means and how government should be ran, you could potentially get, $5,000, an additional $5,000 to go to a particular college. So, but appreciate the work and the help that you guys give us every year. And if you guys are able to help, we appreciate it. If not, it's understandable. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
You want to speak to that?
Yeah, Boys State and Girls State's been something that since I've been on the commission, I've been very supportive of and tried to push more of to help build a better adults out of our youth. I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to approve the American Legion's request for Boys State in the amount of $1,050 so we can send 3 boys to Boys State this year.
Comes out of...
Yeah, I'm sorry, it comes out of courthouse contractual.
All right, so motion on the floor is to approve the funding request for Boys State in the amount of $1,050 out of courthouse contractual. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye. I'd like to go ahead and make it a motion to approve the American Legion's Rhododendron Girls State request for 3 girls to go to Girls State this year in the amount of $900 to be taken out of courthouse contractual.
All right, so motion on the floor is to approve the funding request for Girls State in the amount of $900 to be taken out of courthouse contractual. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, we send 3 boys and 3 girls, so we try to do that equally. All right, so now we'll go back into our order on our agenda. First reading of the Special Emergency Ambulance Service Fee Ordinance. Kurt, would you like to speak a little bit about that, and I'll go through that?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Before I get started, I'd like to introduce a few guests we have with us. We're governed under an appendage of you all with the 15-person authority board. We have 5 of our board members here at this time. We have President Jim Sayer, Vice President Mike Mullins, Charles Shomo, Dave Bobus, and Stanley Teets. To give a little history on Randolph County EMS, we're the primary and only EMS agency in Randolph County. We run approximately 7,000 calls a year. 6,500 of those are 911 emergent calls. We cover the full entire jurisdiction of about 1,000 square miles. We mutual aid 8 counties around us as far as advanced life support and paramedic intercepts. We currently have 37 full-time employees. 33 of them are operational personnel, and then we have 3 administration. We have 3 stations that we staff 24 hours a day, Harmon, Mill Creek, and Elkins. We have a total of 11 ambulances that's in service and 1 reserve unit, 7 in the Elkins jurisdiction, 2 in Mill Creek, and 2 in Harmon. As we've had some funding expense issues over the last year, we've had a couple things get in our way a little bit. One of them is primarily the Medicare services. It's about 85% of our income. And we saw the government shut down and all the federal funds with CMS ended up slowing a good bit and ended up drying up for a couple months. There's a lot of placards and different add-ons to some of the CMS stuff. And this year got canceled until the first of the year, and as the congressional areas could do some improvement. What questions do you have for me as far as this?
Well, we're talking about a proposed ordinance, ambulance service fee for the county. And I would just like, I have a couple questions that I'd like if you could explain, and then I'll make some points. About the shortfall that you're facing, all right? What would happen if the county does nothing to help? And are you short all this money now? So I know it's like possibly like $1 million short in your budget. Are you short that money now, or is that how you expect to end the fiscal year?
That's what we see in the next fiscal year budget, fiscal year 27. After seeing the reduction, we lost a proposal with Davis Medical Center this year with interfacility transports. Everything's 25% higher as far as equipment. Right now, ambulances are $200,000, and in 2012 they were $98,000, so they've doubled in those years. All of our equipment, drug medication, cardiac monitors, as you guys have seen, even with our radio communications equipment with the sheriff's office, I mean, radios are costing us $8,000 a clip. And when you're trying to staff all these units and have multiple radios due to the quiet zones, and it's just incredible. I mean, the new cots are $30,000. We have lift systems that are $30,000. Cardiac monitors are $30,000. So every time you see an ambulance going up and down the street, you're looking at $350,000 worth of metal going up and down the road. So we have visions looking to expand the services in the future, possibly other stations to expedite services towards the Quarter H area. And right now we're at the place where we've had some of the government shutdown and, the Davis Medical proposal and the increase in costs that we need to figure out a way to stabilize the income.
And again, if the county doesn't do anything to help, what would happen?
We'd have to reduce staffing or reduce coverage in the substations.
To equal out that $1 million. You said you've told us how many stations. You said you have 3 right now?
Correct.
And you have 37?
Full-time, yes.
37, and then you had how many ambulances?
We have probably 40 part-time folks scattered around the county, and then we have 37 full-time.
So like on any given day, how many ambulances are like on the road?
We have 4 that staff 24 hours a day, and then we have 1 administrative truck that we have actually 3 administrative staff that we can staff up 2 more units if we need to during the daytime.
And what's like an average call volume on a day?
We run anywhere from 20 to 37, 40 calls a day.
All right, besides this ordinance, what other areas did you guys think about ways of increasing revenue? What other ways have we thought about?
Well, initially, we've looked down the levy route. We've looked down some different legislative mechanisms as far as like amusement taxes and recreational fees and stuff to that nature. And I think between the commission and the authority board, we've determined that looking at a special ambulance fee would be the most acceptable, most non-haggling to the community.
All right. So some comments that I've had from, and if you've had any from the public, one is the situation, I hear a lot about the EMS would not be in this situation if they would have accepted the contract from Davis Medical. So can you explain a little bit more detail what happened with the Davis Medical contract?
Yeah, so initially we did all the transports for Davis Medical Center, and we had...
What does that mean to the person on the street, they transports, what's that?
Interfacility specialized transports, hospital to hospital.
So someone couldn't get the care here, you would take them to another hospital?
Correct. Mm-hmm. And what that involved was we got sat down, and as our hospital system changed, we used to do a lot of runs to the Morgantown, Mon General, and Ruby areas. As the hospital changed brands, a lot of their bed status went to Charleston and beyond. And our trucks, we had some meetings as far as the authority board on how many hours our trucks were out of county and what communities weren't being covered with 911 response. They wanted us to put a proposal in up against 3 or 4 competitors that they went out and found. We put in a proposal form and we lost a proposal. So that's why the other agencies running the interfacility transports at this time.
And the hospital was wanting how many ambulances there, or?
Well, their proposal was they wanted to have two units is what their proposal was.
Be stationed there daily? And you have 4 that you usually run a day?
Yeah, to cover the complete county.
All right. Secondly, I hear about people say how expensive a ride in an ambulance is, and if they get all that money from that, why do they need a fee? So can you break down how much a typical ambulance ride costs, or how much you get, how much you bill, and that kind of stuff?
Sure. So, I mean, at the national level, I did that presentation for you all a few weeks ago, and I mean, it shows between $800 and $900 is what it takes to sponsor an emergency squad unit with the fuel, with the personnel, with equipment, all that type of stuff. Like I said, we receive 85% of our funding from Medicare and Medicaid services. So in the insurance or Part B world, they set the ambulance rates nationwide. So it doesn't matter if we bill somebody $10,000 for an emergency call. Every insurance goes right back to that federal standard. The newest guidelines just did come out, and it shows a BLS transport, and that's basic life support. So with EMTs, the loading fee would be $415 for that call. And on an ALS or paramedic unit, it's $505. So breaking that down and looking at our $6,000 mark at the $500, it puts us at $2.7 million just on the run revenue side. But that's deficient of what our budget is for payroll and the equipment budget.
So people that think that you get $10,000 every time a thing comes out, you get $400 or $500?
Mm-hmm. And we run probably 20% of our calls right now are non-transporting. So we don't get reimbursement from insurance companies if we don't transport to a medical facility. So when you see the ambulances on the car wrecks, the fender benders, the Friday night lights on standby for football games, all the fall calls that we go on just help people back to their feet that's not injured. That's just a public safety, public service per se. So, I mean, we eat the cost of the fuel and the manpower and the equipment on that avenue. Even on an unresponsive diabetic, if they start an IV, we hook them up on a monitor, and then we give them, let's say, D50 or glucagon. Patient wakes up with a good sugar. They sign off, they don't go with us, so you have to eat the cost. And glucagon's $500 a shot right now. So.
Why would you eat the cost on that?
Because there's no mechanism, since under Part B, you can't bill if the patient's not transported to a medical facility.
Even though you gave an IV?
Correct. Yep. The legislature's trying to get something in play that's going to force, insurance companies to pay that, but there's nothing in federal doctrine for that right
Is there
now.
anything that says you can't bill the patient?
No, we're not allowed to.
You're not allowed to bill the patient, you're not allowed to bill the insurance.
Well, we could bill the patient, but we don't.
Might be something you might want to look at. That's a lot of wasted money if you're not transporting and you're losing money.
How about the loss of funding from the city? How long have you received that funding, and how much was that? And
$50,000, and we've got it for the last 3 years, I do believe.
And for the next year, they're not funding it?
Correct.
How about the $12 million that the state is giving to EMSs? How's that going to help you, and how much do you think you're going to get out of that? And if everybody doesn't know, I think they passed, didn't they, $12 million coming up, they're pulling from the profits of the lottery and going to help out EMS. So how's that going to affect us?
So in the state of West Virginia, there's 240 EMS squads. So, I mean, dividing, it up evenly across all the agencies, I mean, you're looking at less than $100,000. Like Mon County's EMS budget, heck, it's almost $12 million alone.
And yours is how much?
Ours right now is 3.5-ish.
Okay. Do you have any other questions about it? No. All right, so on what we're proposing, and I'll go through this. It's a Randolph County Special Emergency Ambulance Service Fee. It's gives us the legislative authority. This ordinance concerns the imposition and collection of special emergency ambulance service fee and would be adopted under the authority of Chapter 7, Article 15, Section 17, and Chapter 7, Article 15, Section 18 of the State Code of West Virginia. Purpose is to enact for the maintaining of adequate Randolph County emergency ambulance system within the geographic boundaries of Randolph County, as an adequate emergency ambulance system is necessary to promote the health and welfare of the residents and visitors of Randolph County. Emergency ambulance service is a public purpose for the state and state mandated. So you have the ambulance fee is mandated by the state to have it?
Yes.
State code, responsibility of the county government, so we're mandated by state code to have a emergency service for the county, correct?
Yes.
For which public money may be spent. Residents of county and visitors to Randolph County are users of this ambulance service fee within Randolph County. Article 1, definitions, business activity. So we're looking at all-purpose revenue-generating activity engaged in or caused to be engaged in with the object of gain or economic benefit, either direct or indirect. For clarification of all sales of the 6% West Virginia sales tax that is collected, add an additional 0.4% to be collected by the business from the consumer. Businesses, any business, firm, partnership, joint venture, association, corporation, estate, trust, business trust, receiver, syndicate, club, society, or other group or combination thereof acting as a unit or political subdivision who is engaged in any business activity. The emergency ambulance system is an ambulance service established and provided pursuant to Chapter 7, Article 15 of the West Virginia State Code as amended in Randolph County, West Virginia, here called Randolph County Emergency Squad, and is maintained by the Randolph County Ambulance Authority. Special emergency ambulance service fee, a 0.4% fee to be collected by all businesses in Randolph County that collect state sales tax. Emergency ambulance rates, the individual transport charges are established by the Randolph County Ambulance Authority. These charges shall be applied to all users of emergency ambulance services within Randolph County and those counties require mutual aid EMS services. Exemptions would be registered nonprofit organizations are exempt from this ordinance. More specifically, exempted are volunteer fire departments, schools, churches, senior centers, Randolph County Fair, Randolph County 4-H, municipalities, and any business that is exempt from paying state sales tax. Article 2, establishment of the special ambulance service fee. The special ambulance service fee is imposed under this ordinance shall be for the Randolph County Emergency Squad, and it would be on a fiscal year basis, July the 1st through the 30th. It's a fee of 0.4% imposed on all sales to which sales tax is imposed. The annual Ambulance Authority budget development, no later than May the 1st of each year, the Randolph County Ambulance Authority shall prepare a detailed annual budget estimate for those total costs providing emergency services within the geographic boundaries of the county for the following fiscal year. And you do that now currently, don't you?
Correct.
Billing and collection procedures, special ambulance service fees, payment of the fees shall be made monthly to the Randolph County Sheriff's Office for Randolph County Emergency Fund on or before the 5th day of each month. Payment should be designated for as a special ambulance service fee, mailed to or in person, dropped off at the Sheriff's Office. Collection procedures, emergency service, the special emergency ambulance service fee, delinquent after the 15th of each month following the date due shall be reviewed by the Randolph County Commission. At our discretion, may collect unpaid fees through a collection agency. Erroneous assessments or and appeals. If a business owner or individual believes he or she should be exempt from collecting this fee, they can send a formal request into the commission. Upon receipt of said request, Randolph County Commission shall, within a reasonable time, investigate this request. The county commission may ask for documentation. If for good cause, we can exempt them from this. Management of the fees, management of the revenues. All revenues received in accordance with this ordinance shall be deposited into a fund known as the Randolph County EMS Fund. These funds shall be used by Randolph County Ambulance Authority only to pay for reasonable and necessary expenses actually incurred, including personnel, medical supplies, equipment, utilities, vehicles, vehicle maintenance and service to those vehicles, and cost of rent or maintenance of buildings used in providing service to residents and visitors of the county that may be required such services provided. However, that revenues received and deposited into the Randolph County EMS fund shall remain in that fund and only be released by the Randolph County for use by the Randolph County Ambulance Authority after it submits to the Randolph County Commission a request for release of an amount of funds with supported invoice or other documentation acceptable to the County Commission that is approved by the County Commission at one of its meetings. The County Commission may retain up to but not exceed 6% of the special fee collected for administration. Collected fees not expended at any given fiscal year shall be maintained in the fund and used in subsequent fiscal years. This ordinance from time to time may be amended by the majority of the members of the Randolph County Commission as they deem necessary and appropriate if a court or competent jurisdiction declares any provision of this ordinance to be invalid or ineffective, in whole or in part. The effect of such decision shall be limited to those provisions which are expressly stated in the decision to be invalid or ineffective, and all other provisions of this ordinance shall continue to be separately full and effective. This ordinance will be reviewed annually before the Randolph County Commission budget meetings. If this ordinance amended is adopted by the commission, it shall become effective the date that we declare, which we're looking at doing it on our next meeting. So in that, some things to point out. Again, this is a 0.04%, and you have examples. So like if someone spends
0.4%.
Yeah, 0.04%. $1,000. How much how much that would be?
$4.
$4. If they spend $10,000, this is in taxable sales, how much would that be?
$40.
$40. I've looked around and Preston County is looking at doing ambulance service fee as well. You know how they're doing theirs?
I do believe that they're charging $90 to $100 per resident per business in the county.
It's per dwelling and per business. So that's $90 they would charge, kind of like the fire fee. And I know they're looking into that. And the reason I bring that up is because I don't take the matter lightly about this. I don't like imposing a fee on anybody in the county. But one thing that I point to is the state legislature for putting us in this situation. For years, the County Commissioners Association, which I'm on the board of directors of, we've asked the state legislature for help in finding a new funding source for emergency services. Just this year, the county commissioners met with this county commission. We met with right over there with our two state senators and one of our House of Delegate members, stressing them and you were there at that meeting, stressing the importance of helping us find funding, because we knew what we were running into, a funding source and asked them for help this legislative session. The Senate was promising coming out of the Senate, but the Speaker of the House of Delegates refused to even bring it to the floor because it was an election year coming up for his House of Delegates. So they didn't want to talk about it. So that puts it back on us. So now we're faced with the decision to either help fund you or find another source, or you're just going to have to start cutting services. I mean, I know I've got an 82-year-old mother. I know if something happens to her, I want to be able to call 911 and have you there. I don't want two ambulances sitting at the hospital when, I like to have those 4 out there running, and so that something would happen. And along anybody in the county, if they needed to call 911, we'd have an ambulance for them. And we are responsible by state code to ensure that we have a ambulance service for the county. So, I mean, that's in state code. So, again, this is a part where the legislature's mandates all this stuff to us, but they absolutely won't help you out at all. So I blame a lot of it on the state legislature putting us in this situation. So, again, unlike the state legislature, I think we're going to do our part to help help fund the county EMS. You have anything? All right, so this is our first read on it. We'll take it up again at our next, does your board members have anything to say?
Not really. The only one thing that I don't know if it was perfectly clear, and maybe I don't make it perfectly clear, but we offered Davis a contract, so what we could do it for. They wouldn't even look at it.
We actually offered it to them at a cost loss to us, okay? To make sure that that service was always provided for them. For decades, we provided great handshake services between the two. They chose to sever ties. If you would like a more concise answer to your question, okay? And I can argue this both ways. Their primary care center is in Charleston, okay? So for us to provide 24-hour service to them, I think the question to ask the people that confront you would be, how can you, or we, as the board, okay, truly say, I can take resources from this county and put them outside of the county, out of the county for private use for 14 hours a day? Say 14 hours because when you do the math, you've been to Charleston, it's 2.5 to 3 hours down, good weather. It is 3 hours back, and I think our average time on the cot waiting in their facility for getting our patients transferred off the bed was 45 minutes to an hour and a half. So you're looking at a 7-hour transport without fuel and without fuel for our staff, which would be food, okay, small break. It's justifiable to go north. We can take a resource out of the county, have them turned around, dropped off, turned around, fueled, and back in the county within 3 hours. Not unreasonable. 7 hours at a clip is tough, and truthfully, although our employees are heroes, they're humans, like you. We cannot afford to send them at 1 o'clock in the morning on non-emergent calls through the middle of the night and expect good results on their return trip home. On the other hand, at what cost break point do we provide this service, okay? Or even more importantly, where do we get the makeup on the back end of providing the service to them at a loss? We'd love to do it. I would love to revisit that contract, but we cannot do it at a loss.
Anything else?
That's pretty well it. I just want to make that kind of clear that it wasn't that we didn't offer them something. We did. They just refused.
All right, anything else, Kurt?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Commissioners.
Next item is consider approval of ratification of the second extension request approval for the Randolph County EMS. This is for your audit. We had to give an extension for the audit. We had to do that in a time to get that done, so we signed that letter. So we just need a ratification of that second extension request. So I have a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the ratification of second extension request for the Randolph County EMS.
All right, so motion on the floor is to approve the ratification of the second extension for their budget audit, for their audit. Any further comments? All in favor? Aye. Next is consider approval of ratification of the signature and letter support for North Central Community Corrections Program. Again, I had we had to get the letter in. So we're just ratifying my signature on the letter support. So I have a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the ratification of your signature on the letter of support for the North Central Community Corrections Program.
All right, so motion on the floor is to approve the ratification of the signature on letter of support for North Central Community Corrections. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Peggy, consider approval of West Virginia Department of Tourism and State Office Resolution. It's for a grant, I believe.
Yeah, we've got a few grants here we need resolutions on. The first one is for the fiscal year 26 Arts Grant Award. There's no match required for this. As we all know, this year is America's 250th birthday, and there's a nationwide celebration going on. Here in Randolph County, we have decided to put a mural up We'll be hiring a local artist to do it. This grant will cover the full costs of it. And it will be finished by May 1st.
And what is it going to be of? You said,
It's going to be, well, I don't have it here with me, but it's a big American eagle,
Yeah.
and it's got America's 250th birthday on it and all that good stuff.
and who's the artist?
Heather Johnson
Good. And she's the one who did all the,
did all the work at the Elks.
at the pool, and then the mural on the Mountain Valley Bank.
Yes, she did Mountain Valley Bank as well, yeah. She's done a lot.
All right.
She pretty much knows what she's doing.
So this would pay for that?
Yes, this will pay the total bill. Her estimate came in just like $100 under the full amount that we'll get. So, yeah, the county should not have to put any money in this at all.
Okay. So do we have a motion to approve the West Virginia Department of Tourism State Arts Office Resolution?
I'll make a motion to approve the West Virginia Department of Tourism State Arts Office resolution as submitted.
All right, so motion on the floor is to approve the West Virginia, the Department of Tourism State Arts Office Resolution. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Next is the same, I'm going to say, what's the next grant?
The next one is also through the West Virginia Department of Arts, Culture, and History. This is a state development grant. The deadline for this grant is not until September, but I want to go ahead and get started in it, basically because I thought the deadline was sooner, but now I realize I have a lot more time for it. And right now, we're unsure as to what we're going to use the grant for. We may use it for the LED lighting you want in the courthouse. We may use it for the electric project in the jailhouse, whichever we can't find funding for between here and there, we'll use the other for it.
And what is it, what's the amount?
There's no certain amount they give. They normally give up to like $50,000, and there is a 50% match on this one.
All right.
If you get it.
And again, if we get this, what I'm looking to do is replace the lighting in the main courthouse, switch it out to LED, or where we've been trying to restore the old jail. We're trying to do that in phases since the money that we had saved for that, we spent on the new judge's courtroom at the Kane Annex. But to start the electrical at that project. So we've got two good projects that we could do to help the infrastructure of the courthouse complex. So do we have a motion to approve the West Virginia Department of Arts, Culture, and History State Development Grant?
I'll make a motion to approve the West Virginia Department of Arts, Culture, and History State Development Grant Program resolution as submitted.
All right, is there any further discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Next is the Court Security Fund Grant.
Okay, this grant, we don't know what amount we're applying for yet, and that's normal because they just opened this grant up last week or so, and we're required to have a meeting. You all are required to have a meeting with all the county, with the circuit judge, the family court judge, magistrates. You're required to meet with all them to find out their wants and needs and to review the court security plan. Well, the court security audit that was last done. You meet with them, they come up with things they want. We all get together and figure out what to apply for in the grant, then we apply for it. This grant has no match. They normally give around $30,000. Depending on their funding, but the last few years, that's what they've been given. And they've funded us for the last 3 or 4 years with this grant. And
What are some of the things we bought with the grant?
we've bought the scanning tunnels.
The scanners at the KNX and at the Magistrate Building and,
Yes.
At the
Yes.
yeah.
We've bought those new scanning tunnels with this grant. We've bought the duress alarm system, the new duress alarm system with this grant.
Panic buttons?
Yeah, the panic buttons. We've done that. We have prisoner holding cells.
So we put the money to good use.
Yes,
All right.
yes, it's always used for.
So we're looking for another 30,000 out of this?
Yes.
All right, so do we have a motion to approve the first court security fund grant?
I'll make a motion to approve the Court Security Fund Grant Program. No, sorry, wrong one. I'll make a motion to approve the Court Security Fund Grant Program resolution as submitted.
All right, is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next is the Court Security Fund Grant Program Manpower Resolution?
Yes, this resolution goes with the same grant, and they require a separate resolution saying you have the manpower to operate any equipment you ask them to buy and put here, that you're going to be able to use that equipment. They're not just going to set it here and it go to waste,
All right.
pretty much.
All right, so do we have a motion to approve that one?
I'll make a motion to approve the Court Security Fund Grant Program Manpower Resolution as submitted.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next is approval of the Edward Burns Memorial Justice Assistance Grant.
This grant will be for the Sheriff's Department. There's no match for it. We will receive around $12,287, and I believe the sheriff is wanting to purchase rifle mounts and ammunition with that.
All right. Do you have a motion to approve that one?
I'll make a motion to approve the Edward Burns Memorial Justice Assistant Grant Resolution for the sheriff.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Are we done with your grants?
We are
We are
done.
appreciative of the grants, though. That's money that helps us out when we don't have to, that grant money, that's less tax dollars we can spend on these worthwhile projects. So I
I
really
like the
appreciate
no
it.
match ones.
I do too.
Thank you, Peg.
Even, the no match ones are great, but even, I'll take anything that we can get.
Bob, not even paying attention to me.
No.
Just ignore me.
All right, next is consider approval of 6 remnant defendants combined participation form. This is a suit, we're in that opioid suit along with other counties, and we've been asked to approve this at one of our meetings, so to continue on with that. So to have a motion to approve the 6 remnant defendants combined participation form.
I'll make a motion to approve the 6 remnant defendants combined participation form as submitted.
All right, is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next is consider approval of the task force funding request. We've been approached by the task force to help them out with the purchasing of 2 items for equipment for them in the amount of $2,925. We took it to the opioid committee at our last meeting. The funds could be used for that, to purchase it through them. They approved that, so now it comes to us for our final approval. So do I have a motion to approve the funding request for the task force in the amount of $2,925?
I'll make a motion to approve the task force funding request amount of $2,925 as submitted.
All right, so motion on the floor is to approve the task force funding request in $2,925. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Next is consider the approval of the Alley's Hope funding request. Again, we met with them at our last opioid meeting. We do that quarterly here at this building, and they requested $20,000 to help with payroll, utilities, workers' comp, homeowners insurance, city fees, certification fees, state and federal fees. It's a yearly funding that we would be giving to them for $20,000. So the opioid committee approved that, so they're coming to us for a final approval. So do I have a motion to approve Alley's Hope funding request?
I'll make a motion to approve the Alley Hopes funding request in the amount of $20,000.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve Alley's Hope funding request, $20,000 out of opioid settlement funds. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Final settlements, annual countings.
Thank you, sir.
You too.
Got 9.
Nine.
I'll make a motion to approve the 9 final settlements as submitted.
All right, so motion on the floor is to approve the 9 final settlements as they've been submitted. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Budget revisions. We have a state budget revision. This is a pass-through in the amount of $2,500. We received a check from, was it from Kyle? Jonathan Kyle? From the delegates for $2,500 for the, from the state. It was made out to us, and now we're a pass-through to give it to Elkins Babe Ruth for their renovation project in the amount of $2,500. So state budget revision, so Commissioner Kiesling, aye. Commissioner Seiler?
Aye.
Next is in-house budget revisions. First one is in preparation for a new state grant. We're transferring funds of amount of $10,000. So do I have a motion to approve the first in-house budget revision in preparation for a new state grant in the amount of $10,000?
I'll make a motion to approve the in-house budget revision in the amount of $10,000 as submitted.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next, this is in-house budget revision. Mover, to help with the loans for the cruisers that we recently purchased of $30,000. We're moving $30,000 out of courthouse contractual into our courthouse equipment line. There wasn't enough money in that line to pay for the loan, for that payment. So we're moving it from courthouse contractual so we can pay it out of the proper line. So do we have a motion to approve the in-house budget revision for $30,000?
I'll make a motion to approve the in-house budget revision in the amount of $30,000 as submitted.
All in favor? Aye. Division of Property Erroneous Assessments.
I'll make a motion to approve the 15 erroneous assessments as submitted.
Motion on the floor is to approve the 15 erroneous assessments as they've been submitted. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
The stressed properties, zoning letters, fire fee adjustments.
We've got 32 orders and 2 appeals. I'll make a motion to approve the fire fee adjustments as submitted.
Motion on the floor is to approve the fire fee adjustments as they've been submitted. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Payment of the bills?